And first, the highlights. Legacy government commences statewide polio outbreak response to safeguard children. Federal government announces plans to establish aircraft leasing company. On the front in Tanzania, court charges 240 people with treason after election violence. And in sport, former heavyweight boxing champion Andy Ruiz Jr. calls for trilogy with Anthony Joshua. And now the details. I am Mike James. Lagos State Government, through the state's Primary Healthcare Board, in collaboration with the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and other partners, has commenced a statewide polio outbreak response campaign. The exercise follows the detection of an often circulating variant of poliovirus type 2 in the Makoko area of Lagos mainland local government. The outbreak response is part of concerted national and state effort to interrupt poliovirus transmission and protect every child from the risk of paralysis. Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Primary Healthcare Board, Ibrahim Mustafa, said routine environmental surveillance had earlier detected the poliovirus variant, an indication of potential ongoing transmission, in samples collected from the densely populated riverine community of Makoko. Mustafa explained that the campaign will target children under 5 years of age, irrespective of their previous vaccination status, to ensure that every eligible child is protected. In a proactive effort to enhance public safety and emergency responsiveness, the Lagos State Government has conducted a citywide awareness campaign to boost public safety and improve emergency response ahead of the festive season. General Manager, Lagos State Command and Control Center, Femi Giwa, said the initiative was designed to sensitize residents on the responsible use of the emergency line 767-112, especially during the Ember months when incidents tend to spike. He noted that the campaign aligns with Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's commitment to building a safer, more responsive Lagos. Giwa explained that the festive period often witnesses an increase in road accidents, fire outbreaks, and security-related incidents, making timely access to emergency services crucial. The Lagos State Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture has reaffirmed that the state remains a safe, secure, and investment-friendly destination, contrary to the misconception some tourists and investors may have about Nigeria. Permanent Secretary Adebobo Oyeko Ismaila emphasized that Lagos continues to attract both foreign and local investment across multiple sectors due to its peace, stability, and dynamic economy. Oyeko Ismaila made this assertion on behalf of the Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Toke Benton Awenka, while receiving members of the Eco Club Atlanta during a courtesy visit to the ministry. According to her, the prevailing peace and security in Lagos have been major enablers of tourism growth, creative enterprise, and diaspora partnerships. She cited the successful hosting of the E1 Lagos Grand Prix by the Lagos State Government in October 2025 as a testament to the state's capacity to deliver world-class events. In his remarks, President of Eco Club Atlanta, Deji Ajiboye, lauded the Lagos State Government for its visionary leadership and hospitality. He noted that the club's medical and cultural initiatives are designed to complement the state's ongoing efforts to enhance the welfare of residents. The Nigeria Customs Service has intercepted a tanker loaded with 60,000 liters of petrol suspected to have been diverted to a border in Katsina State. The tanker was intercepted on the Jibia Road on September 30 by the NCS Special Task Force, Operation Whirlwind. National coordinator of the task force, Kola Oladeji, stated this while handing over the tanker to the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority in Katsina. Oladeji, who was represented by the commander, Kano Chigawa, and Katsina Axis, Saad Isa Yahaya, said the success was recorded as part of a decisive move to curb the smuggling of petroleum products and enforce national energy regulations in the country. Receiving the tanker, the NMDPRA coordinator in Katsina State, Mohammed Omar, commended the Customs Service for its vigilant and interagency cooperation. Omar emphasized the importance of such synergy in sanitizing the downstream sector and appreciated the proactive role of the customs in intercepting illegal movement of petroleum products. And now to the rest of the stories. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has hinted at the federal government's plan to establish an aircraft leasing company in the country. Keyamo stated this during the arrival ceremony of the first dry leased aircraft by an airline operator at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. He said when fully operational, the firm will serve as a middle company between Nigerian operators and international lessors and aircraft manufacturers. The initiative, according to him, is expected to boost the Nigerian aviation industry through the availability of dry leased aircraft and enable local operators to compete more effectively with international airlines. A dry lease refers to an agreement where only the aircraft is provided by the lessor, while the lessee handles crew, insurance, and maintenance. President Bola Tinubu has received his Sierra Leonean counterpart, President Julius Bio, at the presidential villa in Abuja. On arrival, Bio, who is also the chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, was given a presidential ceremonial welcome. Speaking about the visit on his X handle, President Bio hinted that he was in Nigeria to speak at Bayes University's 12th convocation. He also said during his stay in Nigeria, he would hold discussions with top African business leaders in the country. Lagos State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has expressed strong support for President Bola Tinubu, describing him as a leader delivering measurable progress and stability to the nation. In a statement signed by the party spokesperson, Seyi Oladejo, Lagos APC said the president's recent address to the Federal Executive Council demonstrated clarity, confidence, and leadership rooted in results rather than political rhetoric. According to Oladejo, President Tinubu's administration is driving reforms that are beginning to yield visible economic gains, including a 4.23% GDP growth, industrial expansion, improved foreign reserves, and a trade surplus of 7.4 trillion naira. He also cited Nigeria's exit from the Financial Action Task Force grey list and a successful $2.35 billion Euro bond issuance, which he described as a sign of renewed investor confidence in the Nigerian economy. The Lagos APC criticized opposition parties for allegedly engaging in what it called bitterness politics and attempting to undermine the nation's image for political gain. In some foreign news, the Tanzanian court has charged at least 240 people with treason following last week's deadly election protest. President Samia Hassan was declared the winner of the election with 98% of the vote, but the opposition, which was barred from contesting, denounced the poll as a sham. Security forces clashed with those protesting against the vote, and according to various sources, hundreds were killed. The authorities have downplayed the scale of the violence and maintained the election was free and fair. And now sports news. Former heavyweight champion Andy Ruiz Jr. has expressed his readiness to face Anthony Joshua for the third time in the ring. Ruiz has a rich history, having become the first person to unexpectedly defeat Joshua during a memorable night at Madison Square Garden 6 years ago. Despite being beaten by Joshua later that year, the Mexican believes a third installment will be bigger than ever. That was our news at 10. Just before we go, do not park at or near a road crossing. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube. Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on my Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration completed and inaugurated Ikoyi network of roads, McDonald, Lateef Jakande roads, Milverton and Thompson Avenue in Ikoyi, Etiosa local government? Well, you can get more details on the Legacy Government website. When the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Legacy Government, through the State's Primary Healthcare Board, in collaboration with the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and other partners, has commenced a statewide polio outbreak response campaign. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has hinted at the federal government's plan to establish an aircraft leasing company in the country. We also told you that a Tanzanian court has charged at least 240 people with treason following last week's deadly election protest. And in sport, former heavyweight champion Andy Ruiz Jr. has expressed his readiness to face Anthony Joshua for the third time in the ring. And for contacts with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast. This was compiled by Adewale Olukboroku. My name is Mike James. Good morning and thank you for listening.